He came face to face with great white sharks and kayaked alongside killer whales.
Yeah, and now BAFTA-winning explorer Steve Backshall is taking his audiences on their own remarkable trip beneath the waves.
As he prepares to tour the UK with his brilliant stage show, Ocean, Steve is joining us today to tell us all about it.
Ali!
It's so good to see you.
So good to see you too.
Last time we saw each other, we were on Strictly.
He had
no children, he wasn't married, and now look at him.
I know.
He's married, 3
I've
children.
Aged 20 years. And
You haven't aged one
you
little
look even
bit.
better than you did back then.
It's all makeup, babes, all makeup, surgery and makeup. But you look amazing. Are you well?
Very well, very well.
We're very excited about this new tour. It's called Ocean. Why did you decide to do it on the sea?
Lots of reasons. First of all, I love the challenge of trying to bring the aquatic marine environment to life on stage because it's really tricky, but there's lots of different ways of, I think, conjuring a marine environment into an audience's minds, using things like soundscape, for example. You know, we think of the oceans as being a silent world, but they're far from it. There are so many different sounds, from the calls of humpback whales to the sounds that sperm whales might make to incapacitate their prey, through to the sounds that fish make. Fish sing. Every single fish species has a different song. Sometimes they do that song by clicking their jaws or twanging their swim bladders. Other times they do it by popping simultaneously, making incredible noises that we may only recently be discovering. So I'm hoping to do all of that on stage.
It's such a great thing to bring to life, especially for kids. I mean, I don't know. I've never met a child that doesn't adore you, basically. You know, like. Are you going to have some water on stage? You've got sort of an aquarium vibe as well. I mean,
I'm certainly going to try and recreate the sensation of the seas. I think one of the things that attracts me most about marine animals is mystery. You know, when it comes to terrestrial animals, we've known for generations, sometimes for thousands of years, about how they mate and how they court and all the things they do in their lives. But with marine creatures, even the most iconic ones, we've probably never seen it. We've probably never seen them mate. We don't know where they go for most of the year. We don't know how they give birth. All these things are new and enticing. And I think we're entering a golden era of understanding marine creatures right now.
And also, I think, you know, the British Isles, as in Ireland, so including Ireland, I think we just, as a people, we genuinely have this relationship with the sea that we've always had. There's something quite quintessentially unique like that, I'd say, isn't there?
And at the same time, we have so much more than most people realise. I mean, you were talking about swimming with basking sharks, the second biggest fish in the sea.
Have you really done that?
Yeah, in Scotland. It was amazing. It's incredible.
Which is the best place in the world to swim with them. And it's the second biggest fish in our oceans. They can be 8 metres, 10 metres long. They're one of the most bizarre and obscure animals. And we have blue sharks and poor beagles. We have Greenland sharks and scalloped hammerheads that have washed up on our beaches. We have this incredible phantasmagoria of marine life that most of us have no idea exists.
Yeah.
And we know you've swam with some great whales and sharks, and our natural instinct is to want to not go near a shark. We're all scared of sharks, but sharks don't really want to eat us, do they?
No, they don't. I mean, there's a lot of different kinds. There's over 500 different species of sharks, and they're all different. So this one here we're seeing is the oceanic white-tip shark. And these ones here, I'm swimming after them with these pliers. It looks a little bit sinister, but because it's got a hook and line that's come out of its mouth, it's been caught, and I spent about half a day cutting and releasing this shark free from its line.
Oh, what a wonderful thing to do.
And this is a critically endangered species, and yet they are so harmed by our fishing practices. And if it was a critically endangered species on land, if it was a panda or a mountain gorilla, then everyone would be up in arms. But because it's in the sea and it's out of sight and out of mind, we just don't think about it.
And is most of that accidental bycatch, or is that because of the shark fin suit trade, or what is it?
It's both. So there's at least 75 million sharks a year targeted specifically for their fins, but we're probably taking 250 million sharks from the world's oceans every year in numbers that cannot be sustained. And a lot of that, like you just said, is bycatch. It's people targeting high-value food fish like tuna and sailfish and swordfish, and the sharks get caught. And because they take a long time to mature and they live for a long time, they just don't regenerate. And so we're strip mining our seas of them.
I mean, this isn't what you hear, but so if people want to, like, eat sustainably, so something like tuna, are there ways of, you know...
Absolutely. Yeah, you look out for the MCS logo. Look at charities that we have here in the UK, like Bite Back and the Shark Trust, who have just had an amazing big success, one of the great conservation wins of our lifetime within the last couple of weeks in getting all trade of shark fin banned here in the UK.
Brilliant.
And alongside that, we've also got the incredible initiative by the US. Sorry, I could go on about this stuff.
No,
we'd
go
like to
for it.
hear about it. Go on.
So we are aiming to protect 30% of the world's high seas by 2030. It is the biggest conservation goal possibly ever, and it happened this year. So there's lots of reasons to be cheerful.
So how many countries actually got involved in that?
All of them.
Really?
All of them, yeah.
That's amazing. I like the fact that we're concentrating on positive things, because we normally concentrate on the fact there's loads of plastics in the seas, but there are some positives as well.
I think it's really important. You know, a lot of the work that I do is with young people, and I find that when you're talking conservation with young people, it's got to have a possible positive outcome. You've got to let them know that they can change the world if they do something positive themselves, because there's nothing that is more likely to switch a young person off than being told that they're powerless. So we're always looking for the positives, and right now there really are some.
Steve, what's it like swimming with great whites? I mean that must...
Or orcas.
Both slightly different experiences. With great whites, it's all about confidence. It's all about owning the water and having a sort of a strength and a confidence in the way that you show yourself in the water, because they're switched on to things that are struggling, that are weak,
Really?
that are injured, and if you can be the opposite of that, they totally ignore you.
So, yeah, because I've been in a cage with them, and that was an extraordinary experience in South Africa. But to go out of the cage and in the open water, I mean, that must be the most kind of visceral, full-on experience of your life.
I wouldn't do it just anywhere. So a lot of in South Africa, where you were cage diving, a lot of time it's quite murky. It might be close to seal colonies where they're very targeted on marine mammal prey. And in those situations, I probably wouldn't. But there's a couple of places where you can go in crystal clear water, where you can see the sharks from a distance, where you can assess their behaviour, because each individual shark will show off the way it's feeling, whether it's going into predatory mode or getting territorial. You can see that from the way they hold themselves in the water. And in the right situation, at the right time, with the right shark, you can swim alongside them as safely as you would swim alongside a dolphin or a seal.
What about the orcas?
Orcas is totally different, because orca are so intelligent, and they are, again, very focused on a particular kind of food at specific times. So there's a couple of places where it can be done. If you get a chance to go to northern Norway in the early winter, just as the time of complete darkness is kind of encroaching, all the herring focus into the fjords. And the orca are so focused on the herring, they couldn't be less interested in anything else. And you can swim alongside a 9-metre-long, 9-ton orca. You can feel their vocalizations all the way through your body. It's unreal.
Steve, thanks so much for... I mean,
I could listen to you all day.
Tickets for Steve's Ocean Tour are on sale now.
It will probably be sold out, to be fair.
Yeah, 100%.
Thank you, Steve.
Oh, it's so
good
good
luck
to
with
see
the
you guys.
show. Good luck.